Hi, today I wanted to talk about PTSD and complex PTSD, the difference between the two, and why you may have complex post traumatic stress disorder if you experience too much stress and pressure at work. Before experiencing PTSD, first there is a perception of a threat. The possible threats can be like a car is racing towards me, or a man threatens to hit me, or my boss screams at me, or again, my workload is too important, I may lose my job if I can't reach my goals. Or for those who are scared of spiders, the first reaction they have is, oh my god, a spider. So, following that assessment, there are two main ways to answer that threats, and it's based on evaluations. The first evaluation is, I can face it. I can run away. I can fight back. I can stop it. I can face the consequences. And the second evaluation is, I feel powerless. I cannot escape. I cannot fight back. I cannot stop the threat. And I cannot live with the consequences. So first we have perception of threat. And second we have the evaluation of my ability to face it. Now, powerlessness or perceived powerlessness in the face of a threat, real or not, but perceived in this way, will play a huge part in the development of PTSD symptoms. In the first situation, our stress generated by our perception of a threat can be used in a constructive way. And when there's no more danger, our nervous system can come back to a state of balance. In the second situation, particularly if the threat led to serious consequences, there is a higher risk of developing post-traumatic stress. But if the sequence is similar for every surge of adrenaline, so that we can face a threat or a challenge, we won't talk about PTSD if we are just scared of spiders. Post-traumatic stress refers to symptoms like flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, nightmares, anxiety, as a result of an event, like one event, that most people would judge as traumatic. We may think of a car crash, a terrorist attack, a war, or physical violence. Complex post-traumatic stress does not refer to an identifiable traumatic event like PTSD, but to trauma-related symptoms that emanate from chronic exposure to situations in which the individual, generally a child, must deal with distressing situations and feels helpless. For instance, a child who grows up with an alcoholic or depressive parent and who doesn't have enough support, protection, and guidance as a consequence. It can also be a child who is bullied at school, or it can be a child who suffers emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, or who is a witness of violence between his parents. Yet sometimes, complex post-traumatic stress develops later in life. The term CPTSD sometimes referred to childhood PTSD as well as complex PTSD, and we assume that childhood PTSD is a complex PTSD, but you can also develop CPTSD, so complex PTSD, as an adult, and that happens particularly when in a relationship with a narcissistic partner or when bullied at work. And to make matters worse, if you developed a complex trauma in childhood, you are more likely to repeat similar situations to those that affected you in the past as an adult. And often this happens at work. You may hear that some people are too sensitive, that are more vulnerable to stress and pressure. They have anxiety disorders, sleep disorders, concentration difficulties. They let their emotions overwhelm them and have difficulty taking action, even when they are perfectly competent. They are also more likely to have difficult relationships with their colleagues, and in some cases, they are easy targets for bullying. Trauma is not the only possible cause for all this, but if you can relate, you may find it interesting to investigate in that direction. Please tell me in the comments below if all this rings a bell for you. What do you think? I am currently preparing new videos of sophrology. In the meantime, you can click on the links in the description box below to access those recorded previously. And if you feel like following a real sophrology program to calm your anxiety and fall asleep more easily, stay tuned. My program will be ready in a couple of months. For those who speak French, my program does exist in French already, and I am working on an English version at the moment. This is the end of this video. I am looking forward to reading you, and I wish you a very nice day.